On today's episode of First Cup, it's Friday. Woo! We're dropping jokes. I'm answering your questions, your comments. We're talking about martial arts. We're drinking coffee. I'm telling you what's going on this weekend, and so much more. We start in 15 seconds, so stick around. Be right with you. Cup of coffee. It's right here. I'm excited to drink it. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Friday. It is October 8th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Can you see the steam coming off that? Good morning, Mel. I don't know if you can see the steam. There's definitely steam. It's hot. Well, I hope everybody had a good Thursday. I hope you checked out yesterday's episode of Martial Arts Radio. We actually got more feedback on yesterday's How to Fight episode than I would have expected, because in the previous episode it seemed tied to the not the guest but the character in the movie, and it was not it wasn't Chuck Norris, it wasn't Bruce Lee, it wasn't Jeff Speakman, it wasn't somebody super popular, but we got great feedback, so apparently we did something right. So yay, thank you. What else happened yesterday? Yesterday was a really different, and let's even call it a weird sort of a day for me. Good morning, Daniel. Most of you know that my father passed away in April, and that means that there's stuff to do related to the estate. I've been sitting on a pile of that stuff, and not only is there good morning, Jenny. Not only is there like a logistical component, I have to do these things, there's an emotional component. And there had not been a lineup of time and money, time and energy to get through it. You know, yesterday I made it a priority and I plowed through a ton of stuff. Estate bank accounts and all that stuff. Ugh, not something I enjoyed. If any of you out there have had to do this, I'm sorry. It sucks. Any of you out there who are going to have to do this, there's no way to prepare. So just good luck. Of course, I appreciate, there we go, there's a word, appreciate, everyone joining live, whether you're, well, if you're watching live, yay. If you're listening later, watching later, both are cool. Thank you. What else happened yesterday? I went to the gym, had acupuncture, had a great acupuncture session. Talked a friend off the ledge. I've got a friend putting together an event next weekend. Some of you local may have heard about it. Cool event. Cool event. It's kind of like the South by Southwest of Vermont. It's year one. And he's never put on an event before. I've put on a bunch of events, and he's losing his mind. So he's like, Jeremy, what do I do? Well, do this. But what about, nope, do this. Okay. We're at a stage now where it's, I don't want to say it's constant, because that suggests that he's not self-sufficient. He is. He's doing a great job. But it's a couple times a day. He's like, what do you think about this? I'm like, I do that. If anybody's not put on an event, you think all these things just fall into place. They're like, oh, I told this person to do this thing, and they're going to do it. Except that not everyone remembers, and people quit, and people forget, and people change their mind. And when some of those things happen, it cascades other changes. It happens. Speaking of events, free training day, November 13th. I'm getting tagged in tons of photos, people putting up their shirts. Got messages from a couple more people yesterday saying, I think I'm going to be able to make it. Awesome. There is no event like this. I've been to a lot of events. There are events that are great. Plenty of events I enjoy. This event is about the training. It's about the training. It's about the fellowship. It's about sharing the information. It's not about stratification. It's not about ego. It's not about belt. It's not about rank. In fact, you know what I did this year that I've never done before? And I did it mostly for space on the schedule, but I didn't include everyone's title. It wasn't going to fit without making things even smaller. They're already pretty tight. But I said, you know what? If there's a group of people that is going to be okay with not using their titles, This is it. So we did it. Nobody minded. Yes. Yes, I'm super pumped. What's going on today? Going up to the co-working space. I'll knock out a little bit of work here before I go. This camera is... There we go. No real plans. Surprisingly, no meetings scheduled today. No calls. So I'm just getting work done. Getting work done, drinking coffee, talking to people, having lunch. Should be a good day. This weekend, getting together with some... Both Saturday and Sunday. Got some social time planned out. Got some wood getting delivered. Firewood. Not like building wood, firewood. And then tomorrow is going to be a lot of just harvesting. There's still plenty to do. There's a lot to do. There's always a lot to do. You knew that. Anything else? I might set the hydroponic system back up. It's sitting over there. Oh, come on, camera. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Stop being blurry. There we go. Can't work under these conditions, I tell you. Oh, anything new coming? Nope. So none of you guys left me anything for today. Frank did. I'm sorry. I take that back. Frank left me stuff for today. Nobody commented stuff. Bums me out. The foliage here in Vermont is getting crazy. There was a picture. Let's see. No, I'm not going to be able to easily show. Actually, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Just stay right there. Stay right there. I think I can do this. I want to show you this picture. Where was it? Oh, come on. It was like right here. I was scrolling through Facebook. So what I'm doing right now is I'm scrolling back through Facebook. That's one of the people who shared it. Let's go to their page. Absolutely stunning photo. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. You ready? Check that out. That is not adulterated. That is not a changed photo. That's Lake Willoughby, Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. Absolutely beautiful. I have hiked from where you're looking now. I have hiked the far end. If you look at the very... Actually, I've hiked both sides. It's a super cool lake. I've not swum in it. Swum in it? Swim in it. Good morning, Chris. Yeah, it's just a nuts photo. This is one of the cool things about drones getting cheap is that everybody's got a drone. Good morning, Dennis. I didn't know you were here. Everybody's got a drone and they're just running around taking pictures of cool stuff. And if you've ever looked down on anything from the top of a mountain, it looks more impressive. If you've ever seen foliage from the top of a mountain, it's amazing. And now with drones, people are like, oh, let's see what these pretty leaves look like from up there. Oh, that's sweet. I have a cheap drone in the garage. It's I've only tried to use it a couple times. I paid $50 for it. It's not great. It's one of those things I keep telling myself I'm going to do, and I don't, which is why I haven't bought a nice one, because I'm not even trying to use that one. So. Daniel says, that's not a photo, that's a picture postcard in the Travel Bureau. Well, there's a reason Vermont is known for tourism. I would love it if we could make free training day happen this time of year, except that everyone would hate me getting into and out of the area. It's nuts. Lodging is way more expensive. Restaurants are more crowded. There are a bunch of people, coming in this year and making like a vacation out of it. They're making, 2, 3, 4, 5 day trip out of it. And by that time, there's not going to be a lot going on, which is pretty nice. So you'll have your run of the place. It took me to get from the highway to the gym yesterday, which is typically well, let's just say it took me 5 minutes to get off the off ramp. It was like I was in New York or something. It was nuts. Daniel says, I do believe I've mentioned before that your area of the U.S. is about the only bit I actually want to come see, pretty much for views like that. Well, if you ever come, let me know. I'll show you around. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the jokes. Shout out and thank you as always to Frank for making sure we are supplied with adequate humor every Friday, as well as all the other wonderful things that he does. Where they at? They're right here. Okay. Ooh, a bunch of them. The jokes for Fun Day Friday. School is back in session. Time for some jokes to start the school year off the right way. What do you do when no one laughs at your science jokes? Keep trying until you get a reaction. Why do magicians do so well in school? They're so good at the trick questions. What do you get when you cross a teacher and a vampire? Lots of blood tests. What do you call an English teacher with a social media addiction? Instagrammer. What do you get when you cross a software engineer with an English teacher? A programmer. What is a math teacher's favorite sum? Summer. That's 100% accurate based on the teachers I know. Teacher. Why have you got cotton in your ears? Do you have an infection? Student. Well, you keep saying that things go in one ear and out the other, so I'm trying to keep them all in. One more. Teacher. Little Johnny has 10 cents, $2, and another 7 cents. How much does he have? Student. Clearly a money problem. I like that. You know, it's funny. Growing up in school, I had friends who wanted to be teachers. I never wanted to be a teacher. In my mind, being a teacher meant being a school teacher, a public school teacher. Those were the teachers I was exposed to. I never thought of martial arts instructors as teachers. And now the interesting thing is, if I think about what I love to do the most, it's sharing information. It's another word for teaching. Whether I'm teaching, which is kind of a heavy-handed word for what I do, but let's use it. If I'm teaching here on Martial Arts Radio, if I'm teaching at a martial arts school, if I'm teaching kids at the gym, right? Like I can turn it off. I don't like to. I like sharing what I know. That's why I do the things that I do. And it's so strange to me because I never would have seen myself as a teacher. And yeah. Daniel's got a couple jokes for us. Dad always said, if you're in a hole, stop digging. Nice guy, lazy archaeologist. And I've been ordered to buy a trampoline, so I'm going to jump on it right away. Eric says, thanks for the new dad joke material. Always. Frank hooks us up. Some of them, and I wish he designated which ones were Frank originals, but sometimes he sprinkles in his own jokes. He is quite the jokesmith. I think in another life, Frank could have been a writer for someone like Rodney Dangerfield. You know, just those one-liners. He's got a real gift for those. I think the beauty of the one-liner, the dad joke, whatever it is it doesn't require time for setup. You can just drop them in. They're just right there. And in, you know, I'm not going to share about his personal life, but in his professional life, he gets to talk to a lot of people, Frank. And so this is where his love of this style of humor has come from, because he gets these quick interactions with people and it gives them something to make their day. I think that's something that we all should aspire to, making the lives of others better. And I think quite often we think it has to be a big thing. You know, here's an example. When someone's running a fundraiser and it pops up, and you know, they happen on Facebook all the time. So-and-so is raising money. Do you look at it and you're like, you know, I don't have $50, $20, $10 to donate. What about like $3? $3 is probably the minimum once they take the fees. What if you're going by, Christmas is coming. What if you go by one of the Salvation Army Santas, You drop a nickel in there. What if everybody did? What if everybody dropped a nickel? What if everybody did a little bit? What if everybody said a kind word? A lot of us have this all or nothing mentality. It shows up in exercise and diet frequently. Well, if I'm not going to eat well this meal, I might as well just eat crummy the rest of the day. That's not how it works. Well, if I can't go to the gym 7 days a week, I might as well not work out 2 days a week. That's not how it works either. Slow, steady, small bits. Sometimes you don't progress. Sometimes you just try to stop the regression. Would you rather fall into a ravine or just gently slide down there? One's going to be a lot more pleasant experience. This Tuesday was also World Teachers Day. Who were some of your best teachers in school? What lessons from them have stuck with you? I was so lucky. I was incredibly lucky. I don't remember much of my first grade teacher other than, there were some personal things going on in my life at that time, and she was incredibly accommodating. Things I'm not going to share. My third grade teacher was amazing, Mrs. Diskin. She challenged me in the right way. She held me accountable. She treated me really well. My fourth and fifth grade teacher, Mrs. Ridley, the same. I was in a really strange class where at fourth grade, we were just given deadlines for projects. This assignment is due this day. And she would remind us, but we didn't all sit down and do the same work at the same time. I spent a lot of time on the computer. My sixth grade teacher, Mr. Cushing, was also great. My middle school teachers, was there anybody in there? Yes, the computer teacher in my eighth grade year. So I ended up with this language arts teacher. It was her first year out of school in eighth grade. So here we are, eighth grade, we're what, 13? Some of us are 14. There were even a couple kids in the school who were 15. She was 22. She'd just come out of school. She was pulling fashion tips from the girls in the class. It was not a good dynamic. And I finished some work ahead of everyone else because it was stupid and easy. And I still care, and I cared about school. She's like, okay, do it again. I mean, do it again. There's no value to doing it again. She didn't know what to do with me. And the computer teacher down the hall she liked me. She was great, Mrs. Tadia. And I was venting to her one day. And she gave me a blanket pass for this was probably January. I'd suffered that long. She gave me a pass. We basically lied that there was a project I was helping her with. She said, you can come in here anytime you want. And so when I could not handle this language arts teacher, when I was having a bad day, when she was driving me nuts, whatever, I had that pass and say, you know what? I have to go help Mrs. Tadia with our project. Show me your pass. Didn't expire. And she saved me. Now also, eighth grade started this weird thing for me where I went to the high school for math. I was accelerated in math. There were ups and downs to that. And my favorite teacher, I think, through school was Mrs. Fancher. I was even fortunate enough, not that it really changed anything, but when I went to Clark for college, I spent 2 years living in one of the rooms she had lived in. Like, it's kind of cool. And she's part of the reason I went to Clark, because it was just always on the radar. She was remarkable. Just an incredible teacher, taught me a ton. Yeah, about math, but more about life. Mr. Hughes, who I think I've mentioned on this show, he worked at LL Bean for LL Bean. I don't mean just the company. I mean the original guy who started LL Bean. He's old, but he was there in the very early days. And most of us had that one teacher who taught us about life, not so much school. He was in there. Had a teacher my freshman year for English, Mr. Dow, who he taught us quite a bit. He was a very flawed teacher, but he was really good about teaching us about life. Mr. Glennon, my Latin teacher, again, taught us very little about Latin, taught us a lot about life. He was the debate coach. I learned a lot of my ability to articulate and explain form arguments comes from him. None of the science teachers. Yeah, I think those were the ones. You know, it's funny. I've thought about those teachers individually before. I have not thought about them collectively. This idea, did you have teachers that made an impact? When I hear people talk about the teachers that made an impact on them, I'm used to people saying one or two. How many did I just name? Like 8. It's pretty overwhelming to me as I'm really feeling this. And of course, the martial arts instructors I had, who Sensei Beth and Sensei John had my back for everything. Anything I needed, they were there. And then I had neighbors around me who had my back. I'm getting emotional as I'm thinking about this because the people around me that supported me as a kid, it kind of defies the statistics. These people saw something in me and they gave a lot of themselves, and I'm really thankful. So we're going to move on before I break down here. What is one thing you wish more martial arts instructors knew about being a good teacher? What's one thing? Move slower. Break it down more. Stop expecting perfection and detail when someone learns something. You ever see somebody, you ever learn a form or see someone teach a form, and before the person learning it has even gotten through roughly memorizing which direction and what techniques they're doing, the person teaching it's giving them all this detail and like, oh no, your toes have to be this degree, not this degree, and you gotta do this and this and this and this and this and this, and the person's brain blows up. We can change one thing at a time. I see it happen all over. Over teaching. I think that's probably the one thing I would want martial arts instructors to know. Stop over teaching. Constant, slow progress. How long do they have to learn that form? Years. How long do they have to learn that technique? Years. Stop trying to get them to master it right away. They're not you. You're the instructor. You've had years to master it. Give them time. I would be very interested to get feedback from the chat on this, especially from Andrew and Jared, since they have taught in and out of martial arts. I don't think either of them are in here this morning. But yeah, would love feedback from both of them. You know, hopefully both of you guys are going to watch the show. Maybe you can comment down below your thoughts, and let's make it easy. Answer that second question that Frank dropped. What is one thing you wish more martial arts instructors knew about being a good teacher? You can let us know. Those of you watching, Did you have teachers? Do you have memories of teachers through school that really made an impact on you? If you do, I want to hear it. They're not going to see this, but throw their names in the chat. Let's celebrate them on this, at least here, gray, hazy morning while we're drinking or whatever. And just a reminder, if you're watching on Facebook, if you want to throw a thumbs up on this, help spread the show, and I would appreciate it. Yeah. This was... Sometimes on this show, you guys give me stuff to think about that I wouldn't think about. I wouldn't have thought about this in this way. And it's really meaningful. You know, one of the things here, I'll just let's just call a spade a spade. I didn't have a great childhood. I didn't grow up with my father, and you know, he's passed away, and I'm dealing with all this stuff. I got, you know, I'm sorting his clothes right now. I'm looking at. I'm not gonna put it on air because I will definitely start crying. But like, I'm looking at one of his hats. It's right there. You know, and that it's. I don't know if you remember. Unfortunately, the statement got politicized and treated with a lot of sarcasm. But it takes a village to raise a child. I am a wonderful example of that. Growing up was tough. Growing up's tough for everybody. But I think when you have people in your corner, it becomes a little bit easier. And you don't understand who's in your corner necessarily at the moment because you're a kid. I think these people knew that I appreciated them. I'm still in touch with a few of them. Yeah. Got some of you chiming in. Stacy says, one of the things she wishes martial arts instructors knew was how to adapt for people who are less flexible, less able to hit the standard. I'll say it slightly differently. How to teach the same material in a variety of different ways. The more people are diverse, techniques need to be adaptable, and a lot of instructors don't really know how to teach, they just know how to do. And so they'll show you how to do, and if you can't do it their way, they don't know what to do with you. I've seen this. This is something that happens with either very young instructors who did not have good instruction themselves, or people who do not like to teach. If you don't like to teach anything, you're probably not going to be very good at it. Jenny says that for teachers, they should know it's okay to make a mistake. Yeah, for sure. That's how we learn. And Stacy has another one. What holds the intention of the form? The fact that you know how to do a side kick, but maybe can't do a high side kick. And she tacks on, I'm fortunate to have an instructor who gets it. Yes, you do. Good conversation today. And Frank is in here, so thank you, Frank. I appreciate you. He said something up here. Where is it? By the yard. I don't remember what this was in reference to, but by the yard it's hard, but by the inch it's a cinch. Yeah. Well, I hope you all have a good weekend. I hope you will spend some time thinking about the people who have had a positive impact in your life. Martial arts instructors, school teachers, family, friends, whatever, whomever. If you're still in touch with them, make sure they know you appreciate them. And if you have the opportunity to fill that sort of role for others, maybe you can. I try. I don't have kids, so I try to share that sort of energy with as many people as possible. John says, I hope it's okay to make a mistake because I make plenty. Hey, we all do. Anybody who says they don't make a lot of mistakes is straight up lying. And Dennis, being the man right here, you all have made a positive impact on mine. Well, right back at you, bud. This is a great group. Really is. There's something building here. And the more I think about it, the more I pay attention to what we are, this morning group, this first cup group, the more appreciative I am. You guys help me start my day with gratitude to go with my coffee. I mean, what's better than that? So thank you. I'm going to go. John says, the worst is making mistakes when you are teaching. You know what? I actually think that's the best time to make mistakes because in a lot of environments, I see martial arts instructors who will not demonstrate something unless they can do it perfectly. If they can't do it perfectly, they'll have a higher ranked student who's better at it do it. Hey, can you demonstrate this jump spinning shujibaju? You know what's far more impactful? Seeing the instructor that everyone looks up to do it okay. Being a teacher doesn't mean being perfect. It means having some knowledge that other people don't. And Dennis adds on, John, I love when I make those mistakes. It shows my students it's okay. Even I can't do it right every time. Just have fun. And that's the perfect way to end. So we're going to leave it right there. I hope you all will join the Facebook group First Cup with Jeremy and leave me some questions and some comments for Monday's episode. I hope you have a fantastic Friday, a fantastic weekend. Maybe we can take one of those fun jokes that we dropped that Frank gave us and you can share it with somebody else. Put a smile on their face, and if not, that's okay. I hope whatever you're doing martial arts wise is good. Don't forget, we dropped some new shirts this week. We got plenty of cool stuff going on. Free training day, November 13th. And if you're coming, have a shirt. Not going to tell you why. Have a shirt. I make like a nickel on those shirts, so it's not like I'm not pushing it because I'm coming up with some cheesy scam thing where I want everyone to buy a shirt and make lots of money. So much money. Somebody bought shirts the other day, and because of the specific combination, shipping and everything, I lost $8. So, yeah. Not trying to make money on those shirts. Well, you have a good one. Take care. Leave me stuff for Monday. Okay. Peace. I agree, Mel. Being relatable is more important than perfection.